described as a hermit who claims to have wandered around India's jungles from the age of 8 and not eaten or drunk anything for nearly 70 years.
He has not eaten anything, he has not drank a little drop of any kind of liquid.
India, a land pulsating with ancient traditions and vibrant cultures, holds secrets whispered on the wind and etched into its very landscape.
The Kailasha temple is part of a complex of cave temples that are found at a site in India.
From snow-capped Himalayan peaks to sun-drenched southern coasts, it's a place where the line between myth and reality often blurs.
भानगढ़ का जो फोर्ट है वो late 16th century में जो है कंस्ट्रक्शन उसका स्टार्ट हुआ.
Few common folklore that you'll hear about भानगढ़.
जो भी आता है जिंदा नहीं जाता, वहीं पे मर जाते हैं लोग, नहीं मिल पाते हैं.
Join us as we embark on a journey to explore some of India's most baffling, intriguing, and sometimes unsettling discoveries. Mysteries that challenge our understanding and ignite our curiosity. Prepare to delve into enigmas that have puzzled scientists, historians, and adventurers for generations, hinting at forces and histories yet to be fully grasped. Our first stop takes us high into the mountains to a place where a chilling discovery awaits. The skeletons of Rupkund Lake.
Rupkund Lake is a place high up in the Himalayan mountains in the northern part of India, and it is mostly unremarkable, other than the fact that we have thousands of human bones scattered around the shores of this lake.
Imagine trekking through the remote, breathtaking Himalayas, reaching a glacial lake nearly 16,500 feet above sea level, only to find its shores littered with hundreds of human skeletons. This is the macabre reality of Rupkund Lake in Uttarakhand, discovered officially by a forest ranger in 1942, though known to locals long before. The skeleton lake presents a chilling puzzle. Who were these people, numbering possibly up to 300 or more, and how did they meet their end in such a desolate location?
As people have come by, people have picked the bones up, they've stacked them into piles, and in many cases walked off with them. So this location is an interesting example of how humans interact with bones.
Early theories ranged wildly. Were they Japanese soldiers caught trying to invade British India during World War II? Or perhaps the army of a Kashmiri general lost, returning from Tibet in 1841? DNA testing in the early 2000s initially suggested the remains were primarily of Indian origin, dating back to around the 9th century. This led to the popular theory of pilgrims caught in a sudden, freakishly violent hailstorm. Many skulls show evidence of fatal blows from above, consistent with large hailstones. Local folklore even speaks of goddess Nanda Devi unleashing her fury upon disrespectful pilgrims. Jatinga's avian mystery. Travel east to the state of Assam to the small village of Jatinga nestled in the Borai Hills. Here, during the late monsoon months, particularly between September and November, a truly bizarre and unsettling phenomenon occurs. On specific nights, typically moonless, foggy, and misty with a particular wind direction, hundreds of birds seem to deliberately fly towards the village lights, crashing into buildings, trees, and the ground. Often injured or dazed, they become easy prey for villagers, leading to the event being morbidly dubbed mass bird suicide. This isn't just any bird. The phenomenon seems specific to certain local species like kingfishers, pond herons, tiger bitterns, and green pigeons, rather than long-distance migratory birds. What's even stranger is the specificity of the location. It happens predominantly within a narrow strip, about 1.5 kilometers long, right over Jatinga. Neighboring areas with similar conditions don't report the same behavior. The Curse of Bangar Fort. Journey now to Rajasthan, to the arid Aravalli Hills, where the Bangar Fort stands as a formidable yet famously eerie ruin. Built in the 16th or 17th century, this once thriving settlement is now renowned as one of India's most haunted locations, a reputation so potent that the Archaeological Survey of India prohibits entry between sunset and sunrise. What dark history shrouds these well-preserved ramparts and crumbling palaces? Legends abound, offering chilling explanations for Bhangar's desolate state. One popular tale speaks of a powerful ascetic, Guru Balu Nath, who permitted the fort's construction on the condition that its shadow never touched his dwelling. When an ambitious successor built higher fortifications, casting the forbidden shadow, the ascetic's curse allegedly doomed the fort and its town to ruin. Another, perhaps more famous story involves the beautiful Princess Ratnavati. A sorcerer adept in black magic became infatuated with her and tried to bewitch her using a love potion disguised in perfume. The princess, however, saw through his trickery and threw the potion onto a large boulder, which then rolled onto the sorcerer, crushing him. Before dying, he cursed Bhangar, condemning it to desolation and ensuring no one could live there peacefully. It's said the town was indeed ravaged soon after, perhaps in a battle, fulfilling the curse. Kuldhara's silent disappearance. Remaining in the desert state of Rajasthan near the golden city of Jaisalmer lies Kuldhara's the ghost village, once a prosperous settlement inhabited by the Paliwal Brahmins for centuries. Flourishing since around the 13th century, Kuldhara now stands eerily empty. The mystery isn't just that it's abandoned, but the way it was abandoned. Legend insists that one fateful night in the early 19th century, often cited as 1825, the entire population of Kuldhara, along with residents of 83 surrounding villages, vanished without a trace. What could cause such a sudden mass exodus? The most enduring story echoes themes from Bhangar, tyranny and honor. It's said that Salim Singh, the powerful and cruel Diwan minister of Jaisalmer, set his sights on the beautiful daughter of Kuldhara's village chief. He demanded her hand in marriage, threatening the villagers with exorbitant taxes and dire consequences if they refused. Rather than submit and sacrifice the girl's honor, the Paliwals made a collective decision. Under the cloak of darkness, they gathered their belongings and abandoned their ancestral homes forever. Before leaving, they supposedly laid a curse upon the land that no one would ever be able to settle in Kuldhara again. The unopened vault of Padmanabhaswamy. We travel south to Thiruvananthapuram, the capital of Kerala, to the magnificent Sri Padmanabhaswamy temple, an architectural marvel dedicated to Lord Vishnu. While revered for centuries, the temple shot to global fame in 2011 when, under Supreme Court order, several of its secret subterranean vaults, kalaras, were opened. What they revealed was staggering: treasures beyond imagination, gold idols, antique jewelry studded with diamonds, emeralds, and rubies, crowns, golden coconut shells, and sacks filled with gold coins, collectively valued at billions of dollars, making it arguably the wealthiest temple in the world. 6 vaults labeled A to F were inventoried. Vault A yielded the largest portion of the discovered treasure. Vaults C, D, E, and F contained various ceremonial artifacts and older treasures, but it's Vault B, also known as the Mahabharatakanam Kalara, that holds the deepest mystery. This vault remains unopened. Why? Steeped in legend and protected by formidable warnings, Vault B is said to be guarded by mystical forces. The heavy door, sealed centuries ago, bears the image of serpents, specifically cobras, suggesting a powerful ward. Kodinhi, the village of twins. Staying in the lush state of Kerala, we venture to the unassuming village of Kodinhi in the Malappuram district. At first glance, it appears like any other rural settlement in the region, but spend a little time here and you'll notice something extraordinary: an unusually high number of twins. Everywhere you look, walking to school, playing in the fields, working in shops, you see identical faces. Kodinhi has earned the nickname Twin Town for having one of the highest rates of twin births in the world. While India's national average twinning rate is relatively low, Kodinhi boasts a rate several times higher, comparable even to places like Igbo Ora in Nigeria, globally famous for its twin births. Estimates suggest there are well over 400 pairs of twins in this village of roughly 2,000 families. This phenomenon isn't ancient. Locals say the surge in twin births began noticeably only about 3 generations ago and seems to be increasing. It affects families across different religions and socioeconomic backgrounds within the village, and interestingly, women from Kodinyi who marry and move elsewhere also reportedly have higher twinning rates, as do women who marry into the village from outside. Ladakh's gravity-defying magnetic hill. High in the trans-Himalayan region of Ladakh, amidst starkly beautiful barren landscapes, on the Alekargil Highway lies a stretch of road known as Magnetic Hill. It's a place that has intrigued travelers and locals alike for years due to a peculiar phenomenon. Vehicles parked in neutral appear to roll uphill, seemingly defying the fundamental laws of gravity. Signs erected in the area even instruct drivers where to park to witness this strange effect. Is there truly a mysterious magnetic force emanating from the hill strong enough to pull heavy vehicles upwards? For years, myths and local legends attributed this to supernatural forces or an unusually strong magnetic pull from the surrounding mountains. The name Magnetic Hill itself perpetuates this idea. However, scientists and geographers offer a more down-to-earth explanation. It's a clever, large-scale optical illusion. Magnetic Hill is what's known as a gravity hill or mystery spot, found in various locations around the world. The illusion is created by the specific layout of the surrounding land. The alien waters of Lonar Lake. Journey to the Buldhana district of Maharashtra, where you'll find Lonar Lake, a site unlike any other in India. This isn't just any lake, it's a national geo-heritage monument nestled within the Deccan Traps, a vast region of volcanic basalt rock. What makes Lonar truly extraordinary is its origin. It was formed by a massive meteorite impact tens of thousands of years ago. Estimates range, but around 50,000 years is often cited. This hypervelocity impact crater created a near-perfect circular depression about 1.8 kilometers across and 150 meters deep. But the crater itself is just the beginning of the mystery. The lake water within it is both saline and highly alkaline, a combination rarely found elsewhere, especially in a basaltic region. This unique chemistry supports a fascinating and specialized ecosystem of microorganisms, including bacteria and archaea, adapted to extreme conditions, making it a subject of interest for scientists studying astrobiology and extremophiles, life that thrives in harsh environments, potentially mirroring conditions on other planets. The soil around the lake also exhibits unusual properties, and the presence of minerals like mascalinite, a type of glass formed under extreme pressure, usually associated with the impact of vents, further confirms its cosmic origins. Meghalaya's living root bridges. Deep within the lush, rain-soaked forests of Meghalaya in northeast India, the Khasi and Jaintia indigenous communities have perfected an astonishing form of bioengineering. The living root bridges, Jingkiang Jri, spanning rivers and deep gorges, these are not structures built from dead wood, but rather grown from the living aerial roots of the Indian rubber fig tree, Ficus elastica. This incredible practice represents a harmonious blend of human ingenuity and natural processes passed down through generations. Creating a living root bridge is a testament to patience and foresight. It begins by planting Ficus elastica saplings on opposite banks of a river or ravine. As the tree grows, its secondary aerial roots emerge. These young, pliable roots are then carefully guided across the gap, often using hollowed-out betel nut trunks or bamboo scaffolding as temporary supports and channels. Over years, sometimes decades, these roots are woven, twisted, and encouraged to intertwine and fuse together. As they reach the other side, they take hold, thickening and strengthening over time. Secrets of the Ajanta and Ellora caves. We return to Maharashtra, this time to the vicinity of Aurangabad, home to two UNESCO World Heritage Sites of staggering scale and artistry, the Ajanta and Ellora caves. These aren't natural caves but elaborate complexes of temples, monasteries, viharas, and prayer halls, chaityas carved directly into sheer rock faces. Ajanta, primarily Buddhist, dates from roughly the 2nd century BCE to about the 5th-6th century CE.
The Kailasha Temple is part of a complex of cave temples that are found at a site in India that is known as Ellora.
Ellora, featuring Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain structures, was carved between the 6th and 10th centuries CE. The sheer magnitude and intricate detail of these rock-cut marvels raise profound questions. Consider the Kailasa Temple, Cave 16 at Ellora. It's not a structure built up, but rather carved down from the top of a single massive basalt cliff face.
Archaeologists have determined that over a time of 18 years, the builders scooped out over 400,000 tons of rock. That means they had a workforce, and they worked for 12 hours each day.
An estimated 200,000 to 400,000 tons of rock were meticulously excavated to reveal this monolithic temple complex, complete with courtyards, halls, shrines, and life-sized sculptures. How was such a feat accomplished over 1,000 years ago? What tools were used? Standard explanations involve hammers, chisels, and immense human labor over generations, following careful planning, yet the precision, the scale, and the lack of massive debris piles nearby continue to fuel speculation and awe. Shani Shingnapur's doorless homes. Imagine a village where houses have no doors, shops remain unlocked, and even the local bank operates without conventional security measures. Welcome to Shani Shingnapur in Maharashtra's Ahmednagar district, a place renowned for its unique tradition rooted in deep religious faith. For generations, residents here have foregone front doors and locks, believing they are under the divine protection of Lord Shani, the Hindu deity associated with the planet Saturn and often regarded as a dispenser of justice and karma. The origin of this tradition stems from a local legend dating back centuries. It's said that after a flood, a heavy black slab of rock washed ashore on the banks of the Panasnala River. When a shepherd poked it with a rod, blood miraculously oozed out. That night, Lord Shani appeared in the shepherd's dream, revealing the slab was his idol, Swayambhu Murti. He instructed the villagers to install it in the open without a roof, promising to reside there and protect the village from theft and danger. Trusting this divine assurance, the villagers removed their doors and locks, placing their security entirely in the hands of Lord Shani. The undeciphered Indus script. Let's travel back thousands of years to the Bronze Age and one of the world's earliest urban civilizations, the Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, which flourished around 2500 to 1900 BCE in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. This advanced culture built sophisticated cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, had standardized weights and measures, and engaged in extensive trade. Yet, one crucial aspect remains shrouded in mystery: their writing system. Thousands of artifacts, mostly small square seals made of steatite, but also pottery tools and tablets, bear inscriptions featuring a unique script composed of hundreds of distinct symbols, pictograms, and abstract signs. Despite numerous attempts by scholars worldwide since the script's discovery, it remains undeciphered. Why has this linguistic puzzle proven so intractable? Several major challenges exist. Firstly, there's a lack of bilingual texts. Unlike the Rosetta Stone, which provided Greek translations alongside Egyptian hieroglyphs and Demotic script, no comparable artifact has been found for the Indus script, making it impossible to directly link symbols to known languages or meanings. Secondly, the inscriptions are typically very short, averaging only about 5 symbols per text, with the longest having fewer than 30. This brevity makes it incredibly difficult to identify grammatical patterns, syntax, or linguistic structure. Nidhi Van's Nightly Secrets. We journey now to Vrindavan in Uttar Pradesh, a town deeply intertwined with the life and legends of Lord Krishna. Within this sacred landscape lies Nidhi Van, a unique and mysterious grove of intertwined tulsi, holy basil trees. This isn't just a park, it's considered one of the holiest and most enigmatic sites in Vrindavan, believed by devotees to be the setting for Krishna's divine nocturnal pastimes, the Rasa Leela, with Radha and the Gopis, cowherding girls. What makes Nidhi Van particularly intriguing is the strict prohibition against anyone, human or animal, remaining inside the grove after sunset. The temple priests meticulously clear the area every evening, locking the gates. They leave behind specific items: sweets, prasad, water, toothbrushes, daton, and sometimes clothing or bangles neatly arranged. According to local belief and numerous accounts passed down through generations, when the gates are reopened in the morning, these items show signs of having been used: the food partially eaten, the water disturbed, and the toothbrushes used, the clothes rumpled. The enduring fast of Prahlad Jani, our exploration now touches upon a highly controversial and debated phenomenon, the case of Prahlad Jani, an Indian breatharian sadhu, also known as Mataji or Chunriwala Mataji. Born likely in the 1920s, Jani claimed that he had lived without food and water for decades, sustaining himself solely through spiritual power derived from the Hindu goddess Amba.
Not eaten anything, he has not drank a little drop of any kind of liquid, but more importantly, he has not passed a drop of urine or stool.
He stated he stopped eating and drinking around the age of 11 or 12 after a religious experience. He passed away in 2020, reportedly in his 90s. Such extraordinary claims naturally attracted both devout followers and intense scientific scrutiny.
I was so hopeless to begin with that I thought that it would not continue for more than 24 hours. The project of Prahlad Jani or Mataji to prove that he is not taking anything.
Could a human truly survive for over 70 years without any caloric intake or hydration? Jani agreed to participate in controlled medical observations on at least 2 occasions, in 2003 and 2010, involving teams of doctors and researchers. During these studies conducted in hospitals under strict round-the-clock surveillance, including CCTV,
10 days he didn't urinate, pass stool, or have anything to drink or eat. And they conducted rigorous laboratory tests on him. One would expect extremely high levels of uremic waste.
Jani was confined to a sealed room with no access to food or water, except for small amounts for gargling and bathing, which were carefully measured before and after use. Dhanushkodi, the ghost town by the bridge. Our final stop takes us to the windswept southeastern tip of Pamban Island in Tamil Nadu, to the evocative ruins of Dhanushkodi, once a bustling pilgrimage and trading town with a railway station, ferry service to Sri Lanka. Only about 24 kilometers away, church, temple, post office and homes, Dhanushkodi met a catastrophic end. On the night of December 22nd to 23rd, 1964, a monstrous cyclone, one of the most powerful in Indian history, struck the town with wind speeds estimated up to 280 kilometers per hour and tidal waves reaching 7 meters high. The devastation was absolute. The entire town was submerged and destroyed. An estimated 1,800 people lost their lives, including over 115 passengers and crew aboard the Pamban Dhanushkodi passenger train, which was swept away by the giant waves near the station. In the aftermath, the government declared Dhanushkodi unfit for habitation, officially designating it a ghost town. Today, what remains are haunting skeletal structures, the remnants of the church, the railway station, the post office and other buildings, partially buried in sand, constantly battered by the sea winds.